All right, well, since I'm on a roll, I'm just going to continue and show you how I set up for this flight that we just planned in the prior video. So first thing I would do is I would zoom down to this view where I got a hold of both screens on my G1000 or G950 or whatever this one is. But anyway, first thing I do is set my cruising altitude. Now I know that at my initial approach fix that we put in, which will show up in the computer as user 1, I need to be at 14,000 feet, but I've got some pretty significant mountains between here and there, so I'm going to run it up to 20,000 feet, or I guess 18,000 feet is what I looked at. Plenty of clearance at that, and then I'm going to set my heading to my to the runway heading, and then I'll join the track after we have gained a few thousand feet. This takes too long. Anyway, I'm just going to continue to let it run up, and then I'm going to set my heading, and then I'm going to go over here to the navigation side of things. Here we go. 18,000 feet. That'll do. And then that means, because I like using, okay, here comes our heading of runway, or the runway heading is 202, so I just want to be able to click on the autopilot with heading as the set, and so we're right there at 202. Okay, so now zooming in a little bit over here. So if I go to flight plan, all of those POIs that we added when we were in the previous stage are all in here, but they're only identified by user 1 through 9. Now I know that 74 miles from here is the initial approach fix, so I need to click down here on VNav profile. I need to back this all the way up to that first one. I went too far. And I need to get in there and make that say 14,000 feet. Because the cool thing about this approach is if you set it up properly, this plane will literally, and all you're managing is speed, this plane will literally fly itself right to the runway on this approach. Now I know, and the approach plate bears out, I'll put it up here on the screen as well, I know that our second fix, which is B, we are at 11,800 feet as we are now descending toward Lukla, aka Tenzing Hillary. So I know that we need to get this one at 11,800, enter. Our last non-9200 is 10,400 according to the approach plate. So I need to move this over one more spot and click this up to 4. Now, if I just simply scroll using the big button down to what I know is user 9, and it should be after a 1 mile final, so that's it. Our touchdown zone, which is the last waypoint, is at 9173. So what I'm going to do for descent planning purposes is I am going to plug this in. Now, obviously, I have flown this approach, I've flown this flight to test everything out, but what I know is it's hands off, which is just so cool. These computers, what they can do. 9173. Oh, I know what I did. I need to actually back up here and enter 19200. Yep. That's what it is. I got ahead of myself. So this needs to be 0. This needs to be 9200. And then the other 9200s will auto-populate. And then I press VNAV profile to get out of that, and then I press this button to have everything set. Now what I know flying this is that other than speed, I don't have to worry about anything all the way down to the runway, and it's more of a sightseeing sort of thing. So VNAV on this particular plane is up here on this panel right here, and I don't click it on obviously until I'm near the initial approach fix, and then VPath kicks in as soon as the descent starts. You can't use VPath obviously for an ascent, so I'm climbing manually, and I'm manually grabbing onto this this track that takes us from Kathmandu to the initial approach fix. But if you have the bug nuts RNAV POI folder in your community folder, those waypoints or approach fixes will appear, and you can add them to your flight plan. So let's go flying.